So maybe if we can look at now, just with the way times are right now, I know everyone, for the most part, is dealing with some financial stress. A lot of people have been laid off, lost work. Who knows when things are going to open? Depends what sector you're working in, and all those sorts of things. I guess, is there anything maybe you would recommend people take a look at right now financially, or ways to maybe not stress out about it? I know for me, it becomes a big stressor, and it's hard for me to focus on my other goals because it almost kind of makes a fog where I can't really see what's going on. So, there's any tips or strategies people can maybe work through right now for that?
Well, this is great because we can segue over into the financial by talking about a really important factor in everything. So this applies also to what we've already talked about in terms of your fitness, your health, time for yourself, everything, and certainly financial. So it ties it all together, and really this is part of the key to freedom, because in the long run, if you were to say to somebody freedom, what does it mean to you? Everyone's going to have a different definition, but in their mind, what we're almost all thinking, this is a great universal of humanity. When we think about freedom, we are thinking about not having to deal with things that are outside of our control. That's, what I mean? I mean, you describe to somebody, well, you get up in the morning and you have to select which of your cabana outfits you're going to wear on the porch today in the 32-degree sunny day in, I'm going to say it, in Aruba.
Had to get Aruba in there.
Oh yeah, it's got to be in there, man. My beautiful, I should be wearing the hat. And then you get up and you have to decide, what am I going to have for breakfast? And then you have to decide, and I often do this exercise with people. I go through it. You have to decide, and at the end of each, you have to decide. It's nothing. It's which luxury, which joy, which pleasure do you want to indulge in? That's your, And people are like, oh my God, that's their luxury life. That's their, whatever. And I said, so what do you think is, how'd you get there? And some people say, oh, the money. And, oh, I got this thing. Oh, I managed to get that job. Oh, I managed to do that, whatever. And I say, likely the way you got there was you eliminated the things that you didn't want to deal with. So now you live a life where every day you only have to deal with the things you can deal with. You don't have to worry about something that doesn't affect you. And that's how we all get torn apart by the media. No, I won't go on a diatribe against the media today. Lots of time for those. But this is how it works, okay? Just trust me, the media is manipulating you by every step of the way. But here's how they do it. It's because they constantly bombard you with this sense that you somehow have to understand things that have nothing to do with you, okay? How the president is ... has nothing to do with you. Why do you watch the news? Well, I have to keep up on the important things that are going on. Really? Like what? Well, there was that plane crash 3,000 miles away from here. Oh yes, that had a big impact on your life. And you go on. Apart from the weather and the scores for your favorite team, nothing on the news has anything to do with you or your life or your future or anything else. Well, I want to see what this new budget is. It's like, really? So this budget and this government has an impact on your life. Oh, absolutely. I'm a working person, And how many governments and how many budgets have you lived through? Well, if you're my age, dozens. Dozens of governments, dozens of leaders, dozens of budgets. My paycheck hasn't changed diddly squat. So apparently they have no actual effect on my life. And in fact, if my paycheck has changed, it's gone down. So their effect sucks. But the news has got me believing, oh, you need to hear this. You need to hear this. You really need to hear what's going on in the budget this week. It's really important. Really? Because it hasn't really ever changed anything in my life, except made it harder for me to live and made me more scared, more paranoid, and more upset because you keep telling me I need to listen to this crap. Grace. So what's my point? The most important thing you can do to bring freedom into your life right this second is to stop worrying about things that are entirely outside your control. And now I'm going to get a little somber again because of what we're dealing with right now. I'd like to remind you of something that's entirely outside of your control. Your death. Unless you take your own life, you've got no control over it. So worrying whether or not this thing's going to kill you and letting that stunt every aspect of your life at this moment is a pretty big waste of however much life you have left. And I would guess in most cases, you've got lots of life left. And boy, are you ever going to regret wasting so much of it, worrying about when this thing was going to happen or if it was ever going to happen. The other thing that you have no control over in your existence is the economy. Okay? You do not affect the economy. That's, again, despite everybody telling you that. That's a great government line. It's your contribution to the economy. Your contribution to the economy is nothing. It's nothing. Nothing. All of the people that would be gathering around listening to this, we're all average folks. And our contribution to the economy is zippo. It means nothing. The economy is run by gasoline, investments, commodities, trades, airlines, war. You involved in any of those things? I own a few stocks here and there, but I don't actually control the price of oil. I have no bearing, no influence whatsoever on whatever war is going to start or stop in the next little while. I have absolutely no contribution whatsoever to anything that controls our economy. And yet, we're all in there watching, hey, is the Dow Jones up today? Does anyone know what that means? Does anybody know who Dow or Jones is? Do you really care? Then why are you looking at the TV going, well, I had to check what Dow Jones is doing? Because you think, well, if it's up, maybe that means my paycheck's going to go up. No, it's not. Your paycheck is going to go up when you demand a raise. And to demand the raise, you have to do something to deserve it. Yes, surprise, surprise, your employer doesn't owe you anything. They gave you a job. That's pretty much the extent of all that they owe you. It's all your responsibility. It's up to you. And that's your finances. And so my guidance to you with finances is to take a look right now at how you handle your money. What are you doing with your money? When your money comes in, and I don't care if it's $1,000, $100, or $10. Some people are making $20, $30 a week right now. That's fine. Don't be ashamed of that. It's not your fault. It's beyond your control. You can only work so many hours. You only take so many jobs. There's only so much available out there. As simple as that. Doesn't matter what you're bringing in. You don't look at that and go, well, I can't invest. If you're bringing in $1,000, then maybe you're lucky enough to invest 10 or 20 a week. If you're bringing in 50, maybe you can only invest 2 or 3. Well, the point is, every dollar that you put away is a dollar that's now working for you. Every time you look at the money you have and go, well, it's not enough. That's another week. You have got nothing more than you had the week before, and you're not having anything more the week after. It's as simple as that. And this isn't Warren Buffett saying this to you. I'm not standing there going, well, as I'm sitting here on my $250,000 gold toilet, having a platinum poop, I'm telling you, every dollar counts. And I know Warren Buffett doesn't sound like that. I don't mean to make fun of him. I love Warren Buffett. He's a wonderful person and a great investor. I've learned so much from him. But when you hear him telling you, oh, every dollar, it doesn't mean a whole lot to you. Well, I'm not Warren Buffett. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even a yonaire. I'm an onionaire. I got onions and peanuts. I'm somebody just making whatever. And so when I tell you, hey, just take a little bit, get it going, I'm talking from experience. I am not talking from behind my $200 billion empire. Isn't telling you, no, you can do it. No, I'm talking to you as somebody who started with $5 and worked my way up. And I'm 54, and I know some of the people I'm talking to now are in their 20s, 30s, 40s. You still, if you're 44, you have a full 10 years that I haven't got to get on it. And there couldn't be a better time to invest right now than now because things are down. So you want to be careful, and you want to reach out to somebody who will give you good advice. So that would not be a financial advisor. You want to talk to somebody who really will help you, not somebody who just wants to get a little richer by using whatever little bit of money you have, because it'll disappear. So when you take stock of what you're doing with your money right now, I think somewhere in your portfolio or your collection of currency trading, whatever, your financial outlook, as it were. I don't want to say portfolio. I just want to say your money holdings. Somewhere in there, you're probably going to have a mutual fund. Right? And right now, you're looking at it going, oh my God, this happened in 2009. That's happening again. Am I ever going to make any money? Well, the answer is no. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the downturn of the economy. It has to do with the fact that mutual funds are set up to make mutual fund managers wealthy. They are not meant to make you wealthy. They will not make you wealthy. 15% is about the best you're ever going to do on a good day, and 3 to 5 is pretty much the average. And right now, what you're making is in the red. You're losing money. But guess what? The guy who gave you that thing, that sold you that mutual fund, they're making money. They're still making money. Yeah. And they're trading, feverishly right now because there's so much going on. They're trying to make it so that the thing doesn't fall apart, and it's revealed that, they're ripping everybody off. So they're trading all over the place right now. And every time they make a trade, they're charging you another fee. So they're just doing damage control. They'll blame it all on the bad economy. When things come up, they'll go, see, 7%, hey, ha, ha. And you'll go, yeah, but how come I still don't have any money? Well, the bad economy. It's got nothing to do with the bad economy. It's got to do with 1 to 5% of your money being yanked out every single time they shuffle something across a table. And there are still lots of hidden fees. When they say no hidden fees, it means there's no hidden fees attached to certain things. There's still hidden fees attached to other things they don't have to disclose. Believe me, the banks support the economy. They are the economy. So when they go to the government and say, we don't want to have to admit to that, the government goes, yeah, that's fine. Make no mistake. The government is helping them with the wording. So it's like, yeah, no, you can say no hidden fees because those don't count. That's fine. Yeah. But remember, the reason why you're paying fees is because of the choices you're making. And the choices are because you're being lazy. You're being lazy with your money. Okay? You're saying, well, I just want to give the money to this person and they'll do it. And I understand it's because you trust them. And that's fine. For that, I do not blame you. I don't blame you for that. I do hold you accountable. If you really want to know how to be successful, then you're going to have to listen to me hold you accountable for being lazy with something that you claim is really important to you. Because when I ask 99% of you what would bring more freedom into your life, your answer is making more money. And then I say, great, what are you doing about it? Oh, well, I gave my money to this guy, and I gave my money to this guy, and I gave my money to this guy. And what in God's name makes you think that this guy has any interest in you being financially free? What do they care? They're in the business of making money. Not for you. You're not in their circle. For themselves. So you need to control your finances. And now is a wonderful time to invest in virtually anything, but even in the stock market, in the equities. And I know some of you are scared. You know why you're scared? Because it's unknown territory. Because you don't know. You don't understand. Well, I can't be bothered to learn all that. Really? You think money is the key to your freedom, but you can't be bothered to learn how to operate the most reliable, successful, and profitable producer of money? I think you can. And I think the time is right now when you've got all that extra time on your hands. So you're going to take the time sitting around wondering where your next $2 is coming from, or you're going to take the time wondering when the job that didn't pay you enough already anyway is coming back, or are you going to take the time to start working on some strategies, educate yourself, learn how the stock market works, learn how to invest, learn how equities work. Go and buy some stock you know is going to do okay. Facebook, Alphabet Inc., IBM, blue chip, utilities, grocery stores. But be careful that you're dealing with a reputable company. Don't just, you heard what happened to people who invested in oil, right? All of a sudden Saudi Arabia and Russia knocked the price down and everybody lost their shirts. You heard what happened to people who invested in latex gloves. Yes, rubber gloves are in demand. But if they're not being made by a reputable company, you're not going to make money. The company's got to have some status on its own. But right now, there are lots. And you're going, what? I can't afford to invest in IBM. It's like, well, when's the last time you went and had a cup of coffee? Okay, well, stop drinking the coffee for 1 week. Oh, everybody just left. I said stop drinking the coffee. Well, too bad. Wake up. Haha, get it? Wake up. Because coffee does not make you alert. Anyway, It's poison. Seriously, get rid of it. Save your coffee money. I don't even know. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. But I'm guessing if you gave up coffee for a week, you'd have $10 in your pocket, wouldn't you? Come on, I know it's expensive stuff. So seriously. So it's $10. There you go. Well, you probably can go and buy a share. One share? Well, that's one share more than you had yesterday, isn't it? Seriously. So buy a share and watch what it does. Have a look at it. See what happens. See if it goes up. See if it goes down. Right? Save up a couple more bucks. Do it again. Don't throw your life savings in. Everybody has this have it now mentality. That's why we're all in debt. That's why we're all playing the lottery. Another complete scam. Yes, I do play it, but it's a complete scam. But hey, you always include a little luck and chance in your life. Just don't put everything on it. Buy a lottery ticket. It's a couple of bucks. You never know. Who knows? But we do these things because we want it now. We think we have it now. We're not willing to just work a little bit and wait. And that's what investment is. Investment is patience. Investment is having a vision, sitting tight, and being patient. The market has come back bigger than it was when it went down every single time in its entire history, even after the Depression. After the Depression, it came back huge. After the Great Recession, 2009, by 2014, the market had come back up to over 350% of its original value. So if you invested in the stock market when you were 20, if you're someone my age or older, if you invested when you were 20 and you just left your money there, you didn't do anything, maybe you added a few bucks a month, by the time you got to retirement, your pension would be sitting in those equities. And unless your retirement was meant to start right when you were in a downturn, well, then you're going to have to sit tight for a little bit longer. Fine. So you probably have a company pension or something else. So you wait until you come. When it gets to the top of the market, you sell it all off. There's going to be a lot of money in there. And not by shrewdly investing or predicting or following speculation or listening to what Joe at the water cooler said or following the pundits or whatever. Look at all the people who ran out to buy airline stock. 2 weeks later, Warren Buffett sold it all. Everyone's going, what? A, who cares what Warren Buffett's doing? And B, what the hell were you doing buying airline stock? You didn't do any research. You listened to Joe at the water cooler. And that was why you bought. That's why you did it. So take the time right now to learn about the stock market. And trust me, if somebody tells you, you better hurry, the economy's coming back. No, it's not. No, it's not. Seriously. The first quarter, was just reported. At the beginning of this month, what happened over January, February, and March was reported by most companies. A few more are still reporting, but we're pretty much wrapped up. So all the companies reported what's going on. A couple of companies' stock went up when that happened because they reported, surprise, surprise, in March we sold a ton of rubber gloves. And we sold a lot of medicine and whatever. There were some obvious ones, but they're going to come back down again. So if you did invest, great. Don't get greedy. Get out, because in a couple more months, the next quarter will be reported. And it's not going to be pretty. And as soon as companies are losing money or anything's going wrong, or traders bail out, people run out, and we have what's called a sell-off. If you're sitting in the middle of a stock, when a sell-off happens, that's when your green's going to turn red. It's going to plummet. You'll panic, sell, and lose all your money. Remember, you don't lose your money until you sell your stock at a loss. So if you're going to sell, make sure it's rich and in the green. If you wait too long, if you get greedy and you wait too long and it plummets, sit tight. Just wait. Don't run out. So there's a little advice for people who may have invested, because I know we got a lot of new investors the last little while, and some of you invested in things on speculation and oops, but just sit tight. Just sit tight. Even those speculation stocks, when the market comes up, they'll come back up too. But in the meantime, go and get some education. And for those of you who have never invested before, education. Learn about it. And not from a financial advisor, not from your bank manager. No. Go to somebody who knows. Now, I don't know if Patrick is okay for me throwing this in, but one place that you can get really good, it's not financial advice, because we don't give any financial advice in the organization, but we do provide some insight into sensible investing, and we do provide company research, and that's the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise coaching program that Patrick mentioned at the beginning. So that may be something you want to look into. It might be a little out of your price range if you are struggling financially, in which case I urge you to take my earlier advice and begin educating and investing slowly. Also, as I think I mentioned to Patrick earlier, bonds. Investing in your government is always a good idea. It's always a great value. There's always a decent return. Bond returns are higher now because they're always higher in a bad economy. And right now, investing in your government is a good thing to do. So those of you who have that patriotic sense, think of it like wartime. The government is at war, this time with this tiny little enemy, but that tiny little enemy is doing a lot of damage. And your government can use the support, and they will reward you for it. So by all means, look into treasury bills, bonds, and for those you can go ahead and just ask your bank about them, because they're government regulated, so nobody can lie to you about a bond or a treasury bill. Another good reason to invest in your government, because believe it or not, that's the one time they don't lie to you. They're very honest about the bonds, and there's some good rates out there right now, and you can buy a bond for as little as $100, and there's bigger ones. And you can always do a payroll savings program too if you're one of the people fortunate enough to still be working, still be receiving a paycheck from your payroll. Ask them to enroll you in a payroll savings program and they'll ask you where to put it, and you tell them into bonds or T-bills. Or some companies' payroll departments have recommendations, and they'll show you exactly what. And your company will not steer you wrong in showing you how to divert your payroll and help you to invest for a better future as well. So there's a few points. I wanted to get more practical than philosophical about it. So you got some real calls to action, some real things that you can go and do. And so I hope those are helpful to you. Just to recap, educate yourself in investment, get into the equity market, go in gently, just dip your toe for right now. It's very volatile. So just dip in and have a look. You'll start to recognize patterns. You'll start to feel better about it. But now's a great time to give it a try. Just don't go in all gung-ho. Set some money aside. If you didn't create an emergency fund, by now you should be seeing the importance of it. So when things get better, make sure you start that emergency fund. Maintain $1,000 in it at all times whenever possible. More if you can. Minimum $1,000 into that emergency fund. Very helpful when things come up. And talk to your payroll department if you are still with your company. And if your job is waiting for you, you're collecting unemployment right now. By the way, it's not illegal to invest on employment insurance or benefits or anything. Any money that's given to you, it is never illegal to invest that money. So by all means, take a little piece of whatever is being given to you right now and start trying out investment. And when things get back to normal, and you can maybe jump on that a little bit higher. And if you set up a payroll deduction program with your company right now, you can always increase the amount later. And after dealing with what you're dealing now, later on, you won't miss a few dollars coming off the paycheck every month. And some bills will be paid in the background if you choose to do that, or some investments made. You just won't even miss the money. You'll just get used to this is what your paycheck is. You'll live on it. You'll do it. And all of a sudden one day you'll go, hey, what the heck is that? Look at that money. So that's a great way to do it. It's just to not even be aware of it and let it happen on its own organically. So hopefully that was helpful to you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for that, Blake. I like what you said too. And it kind of goes back to what I've been talking about, is that it's just a little step, little bits here and there, a little investment, a little bit here and there to get you started, and then kind of grow as you're ready. Same thing with the fitness sort of thing, little steps, one day at a time. It's not going to be an overnight sensation. It's not going to happen right away. It comes back to that patience, being consistent with your plan. Like you said, learn, get the education you need, and then be consistent, have patience with it, and kind of know what you're doing. One day at a time, that one step at a time is kind of the mentality I've been trying to share with people here. Get that snowball rolling down that hill. The more it rolls, the bigger it gets. But you got to start with that little snowball and give it that push first. If you don't push it, it's not going to grow. So I really like that advice too, is just to, sometimes I think we think that we need a ton of money in order to invest. So it's nice to know that we just need a little bit to kind of get that ball rolling.
I think the other factor too, Pat, is that when we have a shortage of time, we worry that, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't find that. So when we get that abundance of time, like I said, again, they're almost equal to each other in polar equal, and that we have a lot of time, so we have the sense that we need to be doing a lot of stuff. And so we sit there all day going, oh, I should be doing it. And every day passes, we do nothing because we're worrying about, well, I ought to be doing a ton of stuff. And then we actually believe it when we say, well, I didn't have time to work out yesterday. It's like, you had lots of time, but you were so worried about well, what 25-hour-long exercise program should I be doing now that I have all this time? Uh, you may have the time, but your body's probably not ready to do the Arnold Schwarzenegger Invitational Challenge. So you should still be taking it a little bit at a time. By all means, it's just now you've got the opportunity to do 6 little steps, where in your regular life maybe you only had 3. But that's the biggest thing I want to invite everybody to do is I want you to start locking things in. We're running out of time a little bit. Trust me, the world's not going to kickstart quite as fast as President Trump and others would have you believe. Again, stop listening to the media and the politicians. They're saying what they need to say and what they want to see happen. Trump's dying if the stock market doesn't, kick up pretty soon. So it's all lies. The reality is we've still got a long way to go. You still have lots of time for your baby steps. And what you really want to start looking at now is look at a good day and say, wow, I spent all that time with my dog, and then I spent all that time with my family, and then we played that game. That was fun. And then we pull some of those out and start punching them in and driving them in with a sledgehammer, so that when new normal, regular life, the rot comes washing in, there's going to be these big piers that you have pounced into the ground, and the water will not wash them away. And the rut and the everyday, it won't wash it away. Your life might be hectic, but you will literally go, boom, right now, get out the cards. We're going to, if we can just play a couple of hands. And when the new normal comes and you're doing that, take the time to say, remember that one night we played for an hour? Yeah, well, we don't have time to play for an hour, but we still have time to play for 10 minutes. And next night we had time for half an hour, and then we had this. And then one night we can't, but make sure you come back the next night. This is how habits are formed. It's by locking them in at a time when they can thrive, so that they have the power to repel the temptations, the distractions, the anything that would knock them over in the regular times. That's the way to do it. You can't establish a habit in the middle of an influx. You establish a habit when you've got time to focus on that habit and do it. And that's why at the beginning it can be a real challenge. If you're swimming upstream, you have to swim and swim and swim and keep going and keep going. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And eventually your legs will be so powerful you can swim upstream anywhere. It doesn't matter what current you're facing. You're just going, I'm used to swimming upstream. Up we go. And that's how you truly form habits, is you condition yourself to deal with it. Well, right now, the river's open. You can go in. You can start by wading. Then you can work up to the kiddie pool. Then you can take a lot of time to develop your upstream swimming legs. And then when the current splashes in and real life comes in, a lot of people are going to get washed away and go, I had dreams. And you're going to be going, look at the thighs. Woo! And you're going to be blasting it all the way upstream and doing it. But do it now. Work those thighs, literally and figuratively. Strengthen it up. Get ready. Get yourself strong now, so when the current comes flowing in, you're going to stand up against it and say, no, I am not getting knocked down. We're going to keep going.
That's so perfect.